ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا
Hello and good evening. Today is Monday, March 10, 2025. I'm Salman Talash and you're watching RTA News. Maulavi Nur Jalal Jalali, the Minister of Public Health, met with Kawabina Asante, the Director of the UNFPA Organization for Afghanistan. The Ministry of Public Health says that the meeting discussed better managing health assistance to Afghanistan, strengthening the health system, enhancing the effectiveness of mobile health teams, providing health services according to the Ministry of Public Health policy, and implementing services based on priorities. During his visit to Saripul province, Education Minister Maulavi Habibullah Agha met with Maulavi Muhammad Rahmani, the Provincial Director of Education. According to a press release from the ministry, Maulavi Habibullah Agha approved the reconstruction of 64 schools in the province for $512,000. Members of the Association of Retired Generals and Officers in Kabul say that the weapons and military equipment left behind by the United States are spoils and belong to the people of Afghanistan. They say that the U.S. destroyed all of Afghanistan's military institutions during its 20-year occupation and that the country is obligated to pay compensation. We have more in this report.
A number of retired generals and officers from Afghanistan in a meeting in Kabul said that the U.S. has destroyed the country's institutions, weapons and military equipment during its 20-year occupation. According to them, the weapons and military equipment left behind by the U.S. are spoils and belong to the people of Afghanistan.
The world's first superpower, the USA, came to Afghanistan in the name of help and cooperation and destroyed Afghanistan's weapons, vehicles and equipment, and instead they brought American weapons. We had F-16 aircraft and hundreds of tanks in Nangarhar and all provinces of Afghanistan. Weapons, equipment and combat technology are the property of the nation. They were not part of the previous structure of the Republic government, but were integrated into the framework by establishing the National Army and security institutions. These resources rightfully belong to the people and the nation of Afghanistan.
These retired generals also say that the United States destroyed Afghanistan institutions during its occupation and is obligated to pay compensation.
Now they say, give us back the weapons and equipment. But what about our army, our police, and our intelligence, which were already in good shape? What happened to them? Bring them back to us. All the documents are still available in Afghanistan, with researchers, historians, and those who were at the helm of the government and still are alive. They know that we were given only half of the weapons we had before.
They add that no one outside the country has the right to represent retired generals and officers. According to them, the Islamic Emirate has provided a living environment for all people by bringing complete security to the country.
Generals and officers who are living abroad have been granted permission, and we have been authorized to invite them to return to Afghanistan to live peacefully in their own country. Just as 200 or 300 individuals have returned and are living peacefully, their security is ensured. The officials of the Islamic Emirate and the security forces even cooperate with them.
They also want neighboring countries to return the military aircraft that were transferred to these countries during the fall of the previous administration.
The Minister of Refugees and Repatriation says that 2 Afghan refugees have been released from prisons in Iraq and returned to the country. According to the ministry, the individuals were arrested 4 months ago in the Islam Qala region between Iran and Iraq while trying to illegally enter Iraq. The Iranian Interior Ministry's Population and Immigration Department says that only 6 groups of foreigners will be able to stay in the country starting from the beginning of the coming year 1404. The head of this department added that in his latest statements that these 6 groups of people will be able to enjoy other facilities including health insurance and property transactions. More details in this report.
The Iranian Foreign Ministry says that only 6 groups of refugees will be able to settle in the country in the coming year 1404. Naderia Rahmadi, head of the ministry's Population and Immigration Department, told the media that the census of all Afghan refugees living in Iran has been completed and census papers will be issued. He added that those who have census papers can legally reside in the country after obtaining a valid passport and visa.
May the decisions taken by the Islamic Republic of Iran regarding Afghan refugees be not temporary and permanent, so that all Afghan citizens can use these facilities and benefit, so that we can live legally and healthily in this country.
An analyst based in Iran welcomes this procedure but says that Afghanistan's neighbor Iran needs to understand the problems and constraints of Afghan refugees.
Iran as a neighboring country often asserts a shared history, language and culture with Afghanistan. However, in practice, it fails to uphold these connections, particularly in its treatment of homeless Afghan refugees living in poverty. At a minimum, these individuals deserve support and assistance. If this policy is implemented coherently and fairly, it can help Afghan refugees establish their situation and benefit from educational, health, insurance, and employment services.
According to Iranian state media, Afghan refugees make up 90% of the foreigners living in that country, the majority of whom live there without legal documents.
Maulavi Abdulwali Atqani was introduced as the new police chief of Badghis and began his duties. In a meeting held in this regard, Mr. Atqani praised the confidence of the leadership of the Islamic Emirate and assured that he would serve the people to the best of his ability. As a result of an investigation operation, the security and intelligence forces of Nimrod's police headquarters have arrested a group of professional thieves who had stolen 15 different vehicles from people in Nimrod's, Helmand and Farah provinces. It's worth mentioning that the owners of these vehicles can go to the Nimrod's provincial office with their documents and evidence after reviewing the document process of the relevant department and receive their vehicles. And the final one is that the Parwan Police Headquarters says that 263 police officers have graduated from the Provincial Police Education and Training Center after 2 months of professional, tactical and ideological training. According to the headquarters, 7,315 police officers have graduated from this center since the Islamic Emirate retook power. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.
Sato i pasro ino da shahidan kur da